Good morning, everybody. I hope you're well. This is some Torah before Parsha Zachor. We're coming up on an important Torah reading. And we also have a new Sefer, Vayikra, which is also very exciting. We are learning for a refuah shlema for all the cholim, those who are in our prayers every day, and any of those who we might not mention, and those who are injured and displaced because of the war. We have Emma Yisrael ben Yocheved, Aliza Chana bas Dina Ariela, Herschel Mendel bas Chem Leah bas Freda Noah Avram ben Mendel, Riz Batzar, Yitzchak ben Dvor, Dina ben Mendel, Aaron ben Gittel, David ben Sophia, Lynn bas Pesalea, Maya Batzar, Naftali Hirsch ben Rachel, Rachel bas Lynn, Karen Shnei bas Gold Rachel, Nachman ben Herschel, Celia, Emmanuel Majuliet, Avram Shimon ben Sarah, Harriet bat Lillian, Claros Esther, Chavas Dina. Feel free to send in names and we'll try to include them. We're learning from the Sfas Emes on the fifth Maimer from 56:31. So Vayikra begins with an explanation of the burnt offering. V'shachos asoi al yerech hamizbeach tzafoina lifnei Hashem, should slaughter the burnt offering on the north side of the altar before Hashem. And the Sfas Emes is telling over Torah that he heard from his grandfather Chesherim, and he says, Zeicher Kedes Yitzchak. So there is a connection, and this is explained in the Midrash. So let's look at it. This pasuk is within an explanation of the laws of the different offerings of the goats and the sheep. And in the previous paragraph in the Chumash, we learned the laws of the burnt offerings, which were of a bull, a much bigger deal. And it said, "Shechaz Isai bein habakar lifnei Hashem." We shall slaughter the young bull before Hashem. So it says there, doesn't mention the north side of the altar. But we know that it also must be shechted on the north side of the altar. So this, screams what's going on. Why the discrepancy? So if you look in the Midrash, Vayikra Rabbah, the Midrash gives an answer that when Bnei Israel would bring this sacrifice and read this pasuk, Tzafayni Lifnei Hashem, on the north side before God, Hashem remembers Akedes Yitzchak. So the sheep is an allusion to the ram, which was offered as a korban in place of Yitzchak. But still, we're not sure what's the connection between the north side of the Mizbeach and Akedes Yitzchak. Safoon, think about Safoon for a moment. The word Safoon means north, but it also reminds us of a word which we say on Pesach, Safoon, hidden. And the Chesherim uses this as a launch for a beautiful insight. Ki ikar korban haratzoin lemoiser nafshoy Hashem Yisbarach. The korban has two sides, two sides, has two main things going on, two parts. What the Torah is explaining and what's most graphic is, of course, the physical sacrifice. But the other component is the intention of the person who's bringing the korban. the revealed part of bringing the korban is what you see the person doing. The hidden part is what they're thinking, what's going on inside them. V'nikrit Safoon. So this is Safoon, it's hidden, and that's why it's done on the north side of the Mizbeach. And we learned that when a person's bringing a korban, one of the things they're supposed to have in mind is that really they want to give their own nefesh. They want to give their own soul to Hashem. Moiser nafshoy. Moiser nafsho is literally they're willing to give up their life before Hashem. And we're supposed to want to, when we give that korban, want to connect, but also want to so deeply offer it up that we're willing to give ourselves. And this idea of this intent that we're supposed to have when we give the korban is actually hinted at in the beginning words of the Parsha. Adam ki yakriv michem korban laHashem. When a person brings from among you, right, sacrifice to Hashem. But you could read it a little differently, right? Adam ki yakriv, it's when a person shall sacrifice himself from among you to Hashem. Akedis Yitzchak is this amazing example of what is Safoon, the hiddenness, which is a critical part of our avodas Hashem and our sacrificing ourselves for Hashem. So the Midrash tells us Safon Li Hashem. This is Akedis Yitzchak, and the Sfas Emes goes on to explain that the ikr, that the most important part of the sacrifice is, as you can guess, is the kavanah, right? The kavanah behind the korban is the most important thing. And listen to this. V'zeh yechol liyos gam ata. B'vayda ki ze ikr b'chinas hakorban ki yakriv michem. Liyos kol adam mishubad lifnei Hashem yisborach. V'zeh akedis Yitzchak. Every single person today, we don't have a Beis Hamikdash. We don't have korbanos, but we do have the ability to offer up our service to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So when we bring this physical sacrifice, this man Beis Hamikdash, we're trying to get on a deeper level to connect with Hashem. We're supposed, right? And we think that this is in place of us. It's a way of subordinating our will to HaKadosh Baruch Hu's will. And just as every korban has these two parts, the outward and the deeper hidden spiritual thing, this didn't disappear. This idea of how we do avoda did not disappear. The act of bringing the korban, we can't bring the korban now, but this setup, this approach still exists. And in everything we do for Hashem, we can still have this deeply in mind. You know, somebody asked me yesterday, was it yesterday? They were asking me, what's the main thing of the Sfas Emes? Like they picked up a book of Rabbi Nachman, and they asked me about Rabbi Nachman, And then they asked me about the Sfas Emes, and I can't remember somebody ever saying to me this question. What's the thing? What's the Sfas Emes' thing? And like at first I was like a little taken aback by the question. Like, how can you take Sfas Emes and reduce it to a thing, one idea? I said, but maybe we could. Let me not discount this question. Clearly, I'm drawn to the Sfas Emes. There's something about the Sfas Emes which speaks so deeply to me. What would it be? So the easy answer is Emes, right? That living in an honest and truthful way with everything we do, being an ish Emes, being a truthful person. Yet there is a component which underlines that. What is this? There's something behind that. That is the nister, that is the Safoon in the Sfas Emes. So what is the Sfas Emes saying by his book being called the Sfas Emes? So I said to this person, I think that one of the things that appeals to me, and I think maybe this is, if one could hope, it's a generalization to what is the thing of the Sfas Emes. And I said that how can we sanctify everything that we do? And here in this Dvar Torah, it seems to resonate with that idea that our job as a Jew is to accomplish Hashem's will through everything that we take, every action we take. That is living in a state of kedusha. V'hinei, you can't have a Sfas Emes without talking about Shabbos. V'hinei b'Shabbos ein makribin korban yachid. So Emes points out that on Shabbos, we don't bring any personal sacrifices, which is one reason why some people don't include personal prayers in their Shmona Esrei on Shabbos, because there's no Korban Yachid, there's no personal sacrifice. There's only the sacrifices, only the offerings, that are collective, that are communal. V'yesh lomer gam ken ki b'Shabbos ein tzorich lebechinas ha'maaseh sheb'Shabbos nesar kol ha'malachos v'lachach haratzon bilvad liyos meiser nafshen l'Hashem yisbarach hu hakorban. During the week, one of the ways that we experience HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the world, that we can recognize Hashem in the world, is when we are oisek b'mitzvahs, when we are subordinating ourselves to Hashem's will through doing Hashem's will, which are the mitzvahs. On Shabbos, because Shabbos is so holy, we experience Hashem even without having to do all the mitzvahs of the weekday, the work day, those opportunities during the week when we're working, when we have the opportunity to be Mekadesh Hashem, when we have an opportunity to pursue mitzvahs in our work. But Shabbos is such a holy level that we experience Hashem without any of this physical activity. And during the week, we experience Hashem, we reveal Hashem in the world through our work. On Shabbos, we reveal Hashem without that, just by the experiencing the Shabbos. So during the weekday, right, there's this, through our actions, through our asiyah, the recognition of Hashem is brought forward. Lachen korban ma'aseh gamkin. But on Shabbos, Nesar Kol HaMelachos, when all the 39 categories of labor are forbidden, Lachen haratzon bilvad liot ma'aseh Hashem. You just have to have a desire. That's all you need, is the desire. Moiser nafsho Hashem yisborach. And this desire, this is the korban. So let's see if we can. Every offering has these two components. It has the component of the physical act that we're doing, and it has the kavanah behind the act. And the Sfas Emes says that the most important part is the kavanah, the intention behind the act. What are we really trying to accomplish with this offering? On Shabbos, we don't even have to have the offering. We just have to have the ratzon, the will to fulfill Hashem's will, to be moiser nefesh, to whatever is needed for Hashem. And that will alone gives us the opportunity for spiritual growth, connection with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, an ability to experience Hashem in the most palpable and beautiful way. Wish everybody a beautiful Shabbos in May, please God, very, very soon. May all of us be bringing offerings, the poil mamish, literally offerings in Yerushalayim or Kodesh, b'maisa, in act and with intent, and may all of our efforts be l'shem shamayim. Good Shabbos.